We have got so much to go through tonight. So many takeaways from conference, and this training is especially just to like pass on everything we have learned. But we're going to start with the biggest takeaways tonight and then do part 2 on Monday night because we can't fit 2 days into half an hour. Okay. Southside Sims just jumping on. So I just want to say that most of tonight is going to be from Glenna, and she's going to do a lot of like visualization stuff and really like mindset stuff because we all know she is like the bomb at that type of stuff. And then on Monday night, I will give more like practical, like how to engage with PCs, kind of that type of jazz, upselling, things like that, because that is my jam. So we are currently in RVP Qual, and Glenna and I just took out 2 really big awards at conference as well, which is so exciting. So Glenna got nominated for Rookie of the Year, which basically means someone who's new, who's come in and just like shone. Arbonne's noticed her, which means everyone in her team, people are watching, the girls in your team as well. But then for me to get, what is it called? Movers and shakers, which basically means, so there's one of each, so there's 2 categories, and someone in Australia won it, someone in New Zealand won it. So same for Glenna's category as well. So it means that movers and shakers in New Zealand, like our team got it, guys. Like, because I got it means you guys got it. Like, I wouldn't have it without you guys and your businesses. So it's like, it's quite exciting because like when you get recognized for these things, like it's not just me people are watching, like it's actually like the entire team, because for us to be RVP Qual or for us to run for RVP, like everyone's going to be like, who is in their team? Like, who are those superstars in their team? Do you know what I mean? So that is like, just to say, like, honestly, just go with this momentum. It is so exciting. And we've actually got Shay come back as well, who has been watching for the last couple of months, hiding behind the scenes. So she'll be back. But I'm just going to pass it over to Glenna because we've got lots of notes to take over. So away you go, Glenna.
Oh, am I unmuted? Yes, I am. Hi, everyone. So wow, how am I going to do this? My big things, obviously, for me is mindset and that side of the business. So my main takeaways from conference were the speakers that hit me in the feels with that. Obviously, it was really great to learn everything else as well. But I'm going to run you through a couple of questions and things that they hit us with. So you're going to need pen and paper or to be writing these down. If anyone's happy to share with me in the chat as well, I'll open my little chat box and just feel free to pop a few things in there or how it makes you feel as we go through it and stuff like that. But I just want to blurt out to start with a few words that kind of came to my mind from how I have been feeling after conference. Motivated, passionate. I've got way more drive. I feel super inspired, success, exception, and powerful, basically. So I thought something couldn't really blow my mind, but it did. So it did that and more. Who knew? But yeah, so one of the first things, and I do this with my life coaching clients too, was one of the speakers asked us to think of 3 to 5 events that have happened in your life and what you have learnt or how they've changed you. So as you guys are thinking through your things, and you can either write these down and go away and do it, or if you feel anything coming through now, I urge you to write it down, like the first things that come to your head. But I'm going to run you through, for me, what has come up. And this doesn't have to be solely Arbonne. So 3 to 5 events that have happened in my life. One of the biggest ones was obviously an abusive relationship. And how that changed me is I got to a point where I could have sat in it and stuck through that for the rest of my life, or I could have done something to change it. And you get these points in your life where things happen to you and you can either stand up and fight and change it and step outside that comfort zone, or you can sit with it and continue to stay stuck. So think of 3 to 5 events that have changed your life and how they've changed your life for you. And then I want you to, from there, think about how those things have had control over you and why. So for example, like if I look at my example of an abusive relationship, if I'd sat in that, if I stayed in that, the control in that weakened me as a person, ruined my self-esteem, knocked my confidence. And to be fair, jumping into Arbon is kind of what saved me, to be fair, because he said to me that I would never succeed in this business, that I was not strong, and that basically it was a joke. And if I was to ever share myself personally online, like I do now, that I just wanted attention. And I can tell you right now, I don't do any of this for attention, because if I wanted attention, I'd flash my boobs. But you know what I mean? Like if I wanted that form of attention, if I needed that sort of validation, I would go do things to put myself out there in ways that I would be getting that dirty attention that he was implying I was aiming to get. But yeah. The next thing is, what do you have currently control over in your life? These can be things like daily habits, your fitness, what you eat, how you go about things. And then I want you to look at what you don't have control over. And these are things like people's opinions, what people say or do to you. Where else in my notes? Yeah, basically what others say or do. Yeah, the weather, thanks, Em. We as humans get so affected by these things that we can't control. And I just want you to sit back and take a moment and think, why? Why am I so worried about what someone else says or does? Why am I so worried about the weather? Like, why does it ruin my day if it rains? Does it really ruin your day, or is that just a perception in your brain telling you your day's ruined because we like to sit in that negative mindset? So if you woke up and were like, oh my God, yes, it's raining. Imagine how much different your day would feel. Or if someone turns around and says no to you in this business, especially, this is one of the hardest lessons, is because nobody likes the word no. Nobody likes the rejection. So if someone turns around and says no to you, what if you actually just sat there and was like, cool, another no. That means I can learn something from here. So let's go on to the next person. Let's not waste energy on that. Because if you sit there and think about how shit that is, or, oh no, another no, or let's count how many no's I've had now, then you're just sitting in the shit. And nobody wants to be in the shit. Like, who wants to live in a pile of shit? I don't. I'd like to live with the bees and the birds and the trees and the sun. So there's no shit there. And if there is shit there, it goes into the grass and creates the trees and the flowers and the birds and the bees, So it's the way you look at things. And then from here, you can kind of build what your barriers are, right? So what's your barriers? Oh, shit, my barriers are I'm allowing people's opinions to control how I feel. Boom, there's a barrier. How are we going to break that? Write it down, put it in the fuck it bucket, or we're going to burn it, or we're going to throw it out. Out of here onto paper is one of the best ways to get yourself out of overwhelm as well. and stop that negative mindset. Catch yourself in the moment and flip that switch. Think of it like a light switch. Turn it off, turn it on. You decide. It's simple as that, really. What's your vision? Are you writing this down? Are you visualizing this daily? Are you talking to others about it? Are you sharing your vision? We're going to do an exercise before I wrap this up on vision and what your vision is. But think about it. And your vision can change daily. It can change in the moment. You can add to it. You can grow from it. It doesn't have to be this little speck of a thing. Let me put it this way. When I first joined, these were some of the questions you can ask yourself, right? So what made you say yes to the business? For some, it's money. For some, it's the extra cash. For some, it's the community. For some, it's the products. What is it that made you say yes to this business? And then think about your first yes, your first initial yes to jump into this business. Have you accomplished that? Yes or no? I can tell you right now, when I did this at conference, the answer was no to some and yes to the others. So it's okay to say no. And then the next question is your why still working today? So is that reason that you jumped in and said yes still working for you, or has it changed? Has it evolved? For me personally, I initially said yes to the business side of things because I thought, oh, yay, more money. Now, the reason I say yes to this business is from creating a community, from jumping on here, being able to share my passion with everyone, and going and experiencing what I experienced over the last couple of days with people that welcome you for you. It's a no judgment zone. I ran up like a crazy person. My hands were in the air and I jumped on stage like a crazed animal. But did anyone go, oh my God, look at that girl, what a freak? No, they didn't. If anything, I got a room full of people cheering for me like, I love your bloody energy. And I looked back on the video and I was like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. But you know what? That's my negative mindset going straight to the negative rather than actually, Glenna, you were freaking stoked in that moment. You were so proud of yourself. You got Emily bloody chasing behind you like a crazed animal. She's not worried about what everyone else is thinking. I wasn't in that moment worried about what everyone else was thinking. So, you know, quit that shit, basically. I'm just going to quickly read the comments. Yeah. So a lot of you will find that if you do this, if you go back and look at why you originally said yes and why you say yes now, has changed. And it will forever evolve because you're growing as people. And that's how life works. So yeah, work on your why and add to it all the time and change it up because it changes. It evolves with you. My next thing is, what's your bucket list? So from this business, what are you going to achieve? And think big. Don't think right now, tomorrow. Think big. Like when you hit nation, what are you going to have that you don't have now? How is your world going to look? Here are some of my examples. I'm going to travel, and that's hilarious because I will tell you right now, if you asked me a year ago, I'm a homebody. I don't travel. I don't like going anywhere. That was literally what I would say to you. Do you know why that was? Because my barriers were, I can't afford to travel. How dare I tell someone I want to travel when I don't have the funds to travel? And oh my God, like, like I could list off 10 reasons why I could not travel. I get anxiety, I'm stressed, I don't like planes, and I hate heights. But do I stop that from letting me travel now? Hell to the no, because once I get there, it's a beautiful destination. I explore the world. I get to see new things. I get to meet new people. I get to sit by the pool and drink cocktails, you know, like who doesn't want that? Another is buying a house. oh no, I'm just gonna stay here and help mum and dad. Stay here and help mum and dad. Don't need to buy my own house. Oh no, no, no. Oh no. Oh, maybe I'll just wait and buy a house on the property when we can subdivide in 20,000 years' time. You know? Always a barrier. That's why you got to exit those. So think of your bucket list for when your nation, you're earning thousands of dollars a month. Earnings.arbon.com, because you can't say things without being safe. But one of our EMVPs had 80 grand months. So why are you allowing shit to stop you? If you hit DM qual, why are you allowing that to be your level for the month? If you're hitting IC bonus, why are you allowing that to be your level for the month? Why stop at that when you've still got X amount of days, hours, minutes? Never stop. Never give up because you've hit your goal. There's always further to push. There's always further to go. So yeah, what's your bucket list? If anyone wants to fire a couple of things in the chat, fire them away. Mine is travel, growing to RVP, buying a house, and paying off my parents' house. So how am I going to get there? Not by just sitting back and being casual about it, that's for sure. Not by sticking in the same Glenna that I was a year ago, because she wouldn't be sitting here in front of you even. So stop letting those things, those barriers, stop you. It takes just as much energy to wish as it does to do and plan. I want you to write this down. It takes just as much energy to wish as it does to do or plan. How does that feel to everyone? How does that sit with you? I read that on the big screen and I was like, because I will tell you right now, 100% honesty, a month ago, I was like, not last month, month before, my team, we didn't quite get to the area qual that I was, thinking we were going to get to. And there were reasons behind that. And one of the reasons was me personally not pushing myself to my limit. So how do I expect my team to push to the limit if I don't? And then this month, we hit area qual in the first 2 weeks. Why? Because I was amped up. I was pushing just as hard as everyone else. And it wasn't just a them versus me. It was a team focus. It was a group thing. It is always a group effort. And this business is never going to be an I and team. There never is. These women in here that do amazingly within their own personal businesses, yes. But why do they do amazingly within their own personal businesses? Because they kick their own freaking butts. They wake up every single day and they work hard for it. And you're not going to get anywhere if you wake up and go, I can't be bothered today. Can't be bothered. The only person you have to blame is yourself. So on those days you can't be bothered, aim for 3, 4, 5 reach outs. Set yourself a minimum number that you go, okay, you know what? I can't be bothered, but if I just spend that 10, 15 minutes to send out these messages, yeah, I can reply to them tomorrow. Yeah, I can put my phone down for the rest of the day, but I will get back to that. That's your effort done. Now, just quickly, want to run you through a little task. Yes, Joanna, tell your accountability partners. That's why we've built these accountability partners too, because when you're feeling shitty, there's nothing better than reaching out to someone. Reach out to your upline. Talk to girls. If you're feeling stuck, if you don't know what to do, reach out. The amount of times I go to Haley or Em and go, oh, I don't want to do this today. I can't be bothered. Oh, life's too hard. I'm literally before the Zoom having a bloody blubber to myself because I was feeling stressed. But do I go, okay, no, that's it. I'm not going to present to the team tonight because I'm stressed. No, because that's an excuse. And why would I put everyone else down and let everyone else down for one little emotion that's taken over my brain? If you want to be successful, it takes you to be successful. So 3 to 5 names. I want you to write down 3 to 5 names of people that inspire you. Just the first few that come to your head that inspire you. From there, I want you to write a few words next to each of them as to why they inspire you. Once you've got 3 to 5 people and a couple of words for each as to why they inspire you, put a 1 in the chat. If you can, keep adding to why they inspire you while we wait. If you can't type in the chat, just give me a thumbs up if you've done it. Just give you guys like 1 more minute and then I'll carry on. Okay. Now, what you've written, how you've described these people that inspire you, you've described yourself. You have described your most empowered, most divine self and the person you want to be. I will read you some of mine from conference. And you guys can tell me if you personally think yes or no, this sounds like I'm reading about myself. Real, great speaker, confident, funny, personable, relatable, speaks well, great at content creation, has been through trauma but stands up, holds herself, is powerful and full of strength. Body confidence, even when times are tough. Building an empire, motivational, always has a touching story, just all-round goals. So that is a list of things I wrote under different people. And as soon as we had to read that out, and she turned around and said to us, does this not describe you? My brain went, holy shit. Because although in some moments I don't feel everything I've just listed, when I'm in my best, when I'm in my most empowered self, everything I just listed is me. And I'm going to use, Jess as an example here. She said, she thought of Emily because she's a boss-ass mama. She thought of me because I'm motivating and I boost women up. And she thought of herself, her mum, because she keeps going even though she's been through so much. Does that not describe Jess? Jess is a boss-ass mother. She's motivating and boosts women up, and she keeps on going through everything she's been through. Is anyone else willing to share or want me to read theirs out if they put just a list? You don't have to share the names of people, just the list of things you wrote describing them. And you take it.
I'm going to share mine.
Okay, I'll do Kayla's just here and then you can share yours. So Kayla has said, come so far, energy, vibes, passionate, drive, passion, while still being a mum and successful. To me, that describes Kayla. Like, she has so much energy to give. She's passionate. She has such a vibe. She'll bring a vibe to a room. From the girl I first met that was shy, that could barely speak to me, that came to my house, to the girl that's standing up, sharing her passion of being a mum and this business. And she's so successful within how many months of just being here. Like, go, Em, you can share yours.
This exercise literally blew everyone's mind. So I wrote my husband, because he's caring, planned, and always wants to do stuff. I wrote Jessie Lee. If you don't know who she is, she's like #1 net marketer. I wrote she's massive in the industry, which I'm not, but I really want to be. Sammy, she's planned, big vision, and has empathy. And then there's a lady in the industry called Emily Ford. She's called It's Emily. She's actually in Isogenics, but she's massive in the industry too. She's like driven and she's got fashion.
But it is so true. Like, everything you've written is who you want to be as your divine empowered self. And if you want work on things, I'm your girl, because this is what I coach on with people all the freaking time. How to bring yourself into that powered divine self. And visualization is one of the most powerful tools to get you there. So I want you to just quickly go back through what we've touched on today. And think of those 3 to 5 events that have happened in your life and how they've changed them and changed who you are. Use that power, because this is another thing I love to speak on when I life coach. It's not what happened to you. It's what you took from it. Because every single person on planet Earth could have had something that to them has affected them, has harmed them, has created trauma, has done things to mess with their life. And there is no one that has a scale on what is worth, being upset over and what isn't. What is trauma and what isn't. Because if it's trauma to you, if it affects you, if it changes your life in some way, that's what's happened to you. But you can sit with what's happened to you and stay in what's happened to you and allow that to continue to affect your life, or you can step out of it, pull that armor off and run. One of my favorite exercises to do is to get women to stand in front of me and scream. And most of them get in front of me and they're like, I don't want to, and imagine yourself right now. If I told you to stand up right now and scream at the top of your lungs, you would feel like, oh God, what is my husband in the next room going to think? What if I wake up the kids? There's all these excuses of what goes through, right? Because you always have that barrier of what if. But then what if you went into your bedroom right now and you grabbed a pillow and you screamed at the top of your lungs into a pillow? I can tell you you're going to gain some form of release from it. Because that's what happens when you release a noise out. It's the same as when you release thoughts out. And when you're sitting in that overwhelm, when you're worried, when you've got anything negative happening inside of you, get it out. Dance party, write it down, get it out of you in whatever way works for you. So these things happen to you, but they do not define you. They do not control who you are. What you do have control over is what you need to focus on. Your daily habits, how you do your day, what you want to do, where you want to be. People's opinions, all that shit out the window. See you later. We don't talk about that no more. We don't need to care about that. Break your barriers, build your vision, write your bucket list, and aim for it. Because the only person that's going to get you there is you. One of my favorite tasks on days when I am literally bedridden from my depression, and I try not to get emotional, but when I am literally in bed, can't get up because my brain is telling me that this is it, that I want to die, that no one cares about me, all these things. And I don't have control over that some days. And I know some other people feel that too. But when I feel like that, if I did not get myself up, make my bed, and I might hop straight back into it, I would not be where I am today. If I didn't get myself up and go to the gym on the days where I just want to sit in my room and cry, I would not be where I am today. If I had allowed that man to tell me that I wouldn't be successful and believed him and not jumped into this business, would I be up on stage receiving Rookie of the Year? Would I be here presenting to you today? No, I wouldn't. So quit letting your mind and other people tell you shit. The only way through is to stand up and fight. Push that foot outside the comfort zone. Get up. Make your bed. Hop straight back in if you have to. But at least you got up and made your bed. Thanks.
You're amazing, Glenna. You are. You're awesome. And it does start with that. It's like literally just like actually just making a decision to like, who cares about what other people think, and just going after your own goals. Yeah. So if you like, I'm gonna record, like post this recording up, and you can go back through it to go through the exercises again. And then Monday I will do more like PC relationship, how to upsell, like getting started, things like that, a little bit more like tangible things like that. Honestly, but mindset is massive, and there was so much at conference, like you cannot explain, Glenna, you just can't. And Kate was there as well. By the way, Kate's a sideline sister from Australia. She's jumped in because she's kind of like lost her upline as well. So, well, she hasn't lost her upline, but not much support from upline, shall I say. So she is going to jump on our trains where she can. But yeah, the conference is literally like next level. Like I feel like everyone's bucket list needs to be like getting a conference next year, because I cannot tell you the amount. You literally walk in, I feel like I'm having like a disco all day. Like I literally feel like I just want to dance all day. It's like, it's insane, the energy. And
Yeah.
I was saying to Glenna in the room in the night before, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Because I was like second or third up speaking on day one. And I said to her, I was like, I know I'm confident. I know what I'm going to say, but I'm still nervous. And then you walk into the conference, and as soon as it starts, I'm like, okay, I'm not nervous. Like this whole place is just so supportive and energetic, and people are there to learn from you, not judge.
Yeah.
It's
And
just
like,
the best atmosphere, right?
for me, like I was like, I'm a nervous flyer. I'm not going to cope on the plane. blah, blah, blah. We get to the airport, we bump into Joe, who's like my Arbonne boyfriend, if you don't know. And I fell in love instantly. And then, but like I ran up and hugged him like I've known him for 50 years. Like, like, and then like even meeting Kate, like me and Kate hadn't connected in real life before. And it's just like instant, like, oh my God, I love you. Like, and we're besties. It just but everyone is like that. Like, there's no disconnect, like from the moment you arrive. And then I sat on the plane next to one of the EMVPs, which actually spoke, Lauren, I forget her name, Lauren Clegg, is it? And she's from New Zealand too. Never met her in my life. She's there with her bloody newborn baby on her arms. And I'm like instantly relieved. I flew for the first time in my whole life a 3-hour flight with no in-flight entertainment, sitting relaxed because I just felt comfortable. Like she was like, oh, it's all good, babe. Like, like instantly. And Emily's like a couple rows over. So, and then Joe was like a couple in front. Like we literally took over the plane. And then like the way home, I was exhausted. So I just had some in-flight entertainment. But everyone's still around me and I flew perfectly fine. I've never in my life like flew and been so relaxed. And I put it down to the community of Arbonne because I felt so safe with the people I was with. Like these are people I hadn't met in person. And I'm like, Zen lady, like what the F? Like for me, I was like, I'm going to have to take my drugs on the plane. I'm going to have like a bloody I'm going to have an asthma attack. They usually send me to the back of the plane with the air hostess because I'm like blowing into a bag or something. And then here I am just like, they came and checked on me twice because Emily politely told the air hostess for us that I was not a safe flyer and at the start. And I'm going, oh no, don't create a fuss. But yeah.
Aisle 32A, she's on the
Aisle 32, that ginger.
The ginger, no.
But actually, like, that's like throughout the whole entire conference though. Like, and you go down the lift. Me and Em couldn't sit next to each other at the first day conference because she was up at the speakers table. Bougie. But like, Joe's like, come sit with us. And like, I was so welcomed. Like, and then everyone's hugging me and we're like best friends. And like, I'm cracking up with these random people at the table. Like, normally for me, that would be the worst form of idea in my brain. Like, hell no, don't put me in a room full of people I don't know where I can't even sit next to my person that I know. I'm going to have a panic attack. But I was just at ease because the whole entire event, everyone's just like, oh, God. And I'm like, who, where? Like, oh, that's me, like everyone is so friendly. Everyone's so welcoming. And it's just, yeah, as Em said, it's such a vibe. We're dancing, we're singing, like
on the final night.
Crazy person on top of my chair screaming, that's to Em running on stage. Like, you just get to be yourself, and because that's what it's all about. Like, that's the best thing for me in this business is I get to turn up and be myself, and I don't get judged for it, which I have in my life before. And that's one thing I want to leave with you all today is be your goddamn self. Don't let anyone ever tell you can't be who you are. If you're going to crack up laughing and your laugh sounds like mine and you sometimes sound like a goat crossed with a frickin' I don't even know, and then people aren't laughing at your laugh, they're laughing with you, that's cool. That's what you want. That's what you want to be a part of. You don't want to be sitting at a table with people that aren't there for you. And that's the thing about Arbonne is every single table have people at it that are there for you. Like the second day we sat with like 3 strangers at our table, and like by the end of it we're like all like this, like, like it's just crazy, mind-blowing to me that there could be so many people in a room and you could have sat at any table and been welcomed with open arms.
I just want to add something because it's come to mind. You said something, be yourself. So Carly Pynchon was our keynote speaker. So she spoke for like almost an hour at the end. And one of my biggest takeaways from her is she just said, like, you just need to be 100% authentically you, which you've probably heard before, but it's so true. And she also said, if you think of someone who you think would be great for the business, or you think of someone like, oh my gosh, I could help them, don't wait till another moment. Don't wait till the perfect time to message them. Like, just get out, text them or voice note them on the spot, because it will come out authentically from you. Whereas if you'd be like, oh, I'm just going to wait later and do it, you'll probably like script it. You'll probably like, you'll probably do it so like unauthentically. And I remember just
Share
thinking,
it with
like, oh, that's
passion.
so true. Like what she said, like it just, if you just say it, like the best things just come when you just come from the heart.
Yeah. And you want to share it with passion, like passion and heart. And that's like why my girls are doing the 150 hearts thing this month too, because that comes from that too, doing it with heart and passion. But yeah, we'll leave you guys with that, eh? How about
Yeah,
that?
we'll leave it at that. I'll post the recording up and then we will probably see you in the chat because the chat is going off. Well done, guys. Have a good night.